Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bichen.
I'm Nimicum.
I'm Ven Chan.
In this class, I'll read all of you a part of Moby-dick Wa the Whale.
S.
L.
Moby-dick or the Whale. Herman Melville. Chap. 16 the ship sec 2. I thought so. Captain Ahab is the captain of this ship. I am mistaken then. I thought I was speaking to the captain himself. Barry speaking to Captain Pilic, that's who you're speaking to. And man. It belongs to me and Captain Buddha to see the Pequod fitted out for that. Wage. And supplied with all her needs. Including crew. We are part owners and agents. But as I was going to say, if thou want us to know what whaling is, as thou dost ye do, I can put ye in a way of finding it out before ye bind yourself. Jade. Pass backing out. Clap eye on Captain Ahab. And man. And thou wilt find that he has only one leg. What do you mean, sir? Was the other one lost by a whale? Lost by a whale? Oh man. Come nearer to me, it was devoured. Shoot up. Crunched by the monstrous parmacetti that ever shipped a boat. I was a little alarmed by his energy. Perhaps also a little touched at the hearty grief in his concluding exclamation. But said as calmly as I could, what you say is no doubt true enough. Though. But how could I know there was any peculiar ferocity in that particular whale? Though indeed I might have inferred as much from the simple fact of the accident. Look ye now. And man, thy lungs are a sort of soft. I say, thou dost not talk shark a bit. True. He's been to sea before now. Sure of that? Though, said I thought I told you that I had been 4 voyages in the Merchant. Hard done out of that. Mind what I said about the Merchant service at Intergravate may weren't of it. But let us understand each other. I have given thee a hint about what whaling is. Do you yet feel inclined for it? I do. Very good. Then, art thou the man to pitch a harpoon down a live whale's throat, and then jump after it? Answer. Quick. I am. There. If it should be positively indispensable to do so. Not to be got rid of. That is. which I don't take to be the fact. Good again. Now then, thou not only want us to go whaling, to find out by experience what whaling is, but ye also want to go in order to see the world? Was not that what ye said? I thought so. Well then, just step forward there and take a peep over the weather bow, and then back to me and tell me what ye see there. For a moment I stood a little puzzled by this curious request, not knowing exactly how to take it, whether she mercilessly or in earnest. But concentrating all his crow's feet into one skull, Captain Pilk started me on their end. Going forward and glancing over the weather bow, I perceived that the ship swinging to her anchor with the flood tide was now obliquely pointing towards the open ocean. The prospect was unlimited, but exceedingly monotonous and forbidding. Not the slightest variety that I could see. Well, what's the report? Said Peleg when I came back. What did he see? Not much. I replied, nothing but water. Considerable horizon though. And there's a squall coming up, I think. Well, what does thou think then of seeing the world? Do you wish to go round Cape Horn to see any more of it? Aye. Can't you see the world where you stand? I was a little staggered, but go a-whaling I must, and I would. And the Pequod was as good a ship as, and I thought the best in all this. I now repeated to Peleg. Seeing me so determined, he expressed his willingness to ship me. And thou mayst as well sign the papers right off. He had come along with thee, and so saying, he led the way below deck into the cabin. Seated on the transom was what seemed to me a most uncommon and surprising figure. It turned out to be Captain Ballad, who along with Captain Peleg was one of the largest owners of the vessel. The other shares, as is sometimes the case in these ports, being held by a crowd of old inhabitants, widows, fatherless children, and chancery wards, each owning about the value of a timber head, or a foot of plank, or an ell or two in the ship. People in Nantucket invest their money in whaling vessels, the same way you do yours in approved state stocks springing in good interest. And Bildad, like Bullock, and indeed many other Nantucketers, was a Quaker, the island having been originally settled by that sect. And to this day its inhabitants in general retain in an uncommon measure the peculiarities of the Quaker, only variously and anomalously modified by things altogether alien and heterogeneous. For some of these same Quakers are the most sanguinary of all sailors and whale hunters. They are fighting Quakers, They are Quakers with a vengeance. So that there are instances among them of men who, named with scripture names a singularly coming fashion on this London in childhood, naturally imbibing the stately dramatic thee and thou of the Quakerdium. Still, from the audacious tongue and boundless adventure of their subsequent lives, strangely blend with these and outground peculiarities, a thousand bold dashes of character, not unworthy of Scandinavian seeking, or a poetical pagan Roman. And when these things unite in a man of greatly superior natural force, with a globular brain and a ponderous heart, who has also by the stillness and seclusion of many long night watches in the remotest waters, and beneath constellations never seen throughout the north, been led to think untraditionally and independently, receiving all nature's sweet or savage impressions fresh from her own virgin, voluntary and confiding, best, and thereby chiefly, but with some hope from accidental advantages, to learn a bold and nervous lofty language that man makes one in a whole nation's, since is a mighty passion creature, formed for noble tragedies. Nor will it at all detract from him, dramatically regarded, if either by birth or other circumstances, he have what seems a half-woeful overruling morbidness at the bottom of his nature. For all men tragically great are made so through a certain morbidness. Be sure of this, O young ambition. All mortal greatness is but disease. But as yet we have not to do with such an one, but with quite another, and still a man, who, if indeed peculiar, it only results again from another phase of the Quaker, modified by individual circumstances. Like Captain Peleg. Captain Bildad was a well-to-do, retired whaleman. But unlike Captain Peleg cared not a rush for what are called serious things, and indeed deemed those self-same serious things the veriest of all trifles. Captain Bildad had not only been originally educated according to the strictest sect of Nantucket Quakerism, but all his subsequent ocean life, and the sight of many unclass, lovely island creatures, on the Harno that had not moved this native-born Quaker one single jot, had not so much as altered one angle of his vest. Still, for all this immutableness, was there some lack of common consistency about worthy Captain Bildad? Though refusing, from conscientious scruples, to bear arms against land invaders, yet himself had lamentably invaded the Atlantic and Pacific, and though a sworn foe to human bloodshed, yet had he in his strait but equalled, spilled tons upon tons of Leviathan gore. How now in the contemplative evening of his days, the pious Bildad reconciled these things in the reminiscence, I do not know. But it did not seem to concern him much, and very probably he had long since come to the sage and sensible conclusion that a man's religion is one thing, and this practical world quite another. This world pays dividends. Rising from a little cabin boy in short clothes of the drabest drab, to a harpooner in a broad billet waistcoat. From that becoming bowheader, chief mate, and captain, and finally a ship owner. Burdett, as I hinted before, had concluded his adventurous career by wholly retiring from active life at the goodly age of 60, and dedicating his remaining days to the quiet receiving of his well-earned income. To be continued.